Hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites. A place where we take a bite out of the apple and we share it with you. And of course, you see all these beautiful people next to me, except for roaming Tony, who's like disappeared.
He does roam a little bit, I heard, so I guess he'll be okay.
Oh man, Tony's probably getting something to drink right now. You know, he didn't realize
the instructions, Raphael. So you said get something to drink. So
he's probably just like putting himself over there and coming back in a bit. Of course, we got Mindy and Jerry hanging out with us, and of course, Paul has been our co-host for recent times here. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially because we're on our way to Garden State Comic Fest this weekend.
Ooh.
Where we're going to be, Garden State Comic Fest. And Paul is going to be there especially because he's going to have a table there, right, Paul?
Going to have a table. Going to have 2 cosplayers there. We invited Professor C.T. Haugens as well as Amelia Earhart. So come by, visit us, check out the costumes, and have a great time. We give away free swag. Got swag for sale. Got the game for sale. Really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It sounds like it's going to be a blast, folks, and I know I'm going to have a blast, especially because I got this beautiful thing in my hands now. You know, because of course we suck at comics, and my beautiful story is inside here. So I'm so happy that I got my copy of it right now, and it's beautiful. It reminds me of a DM guide or a Dungeon Master book. Oh, look at this! It's just beautiful. And that, of course, as you guys know, is my first published work in a book. Even though I've put a bunch of stuff out into the ether, the web, and all that stuff, but this is inside of a book, folks.
Is that really the first time published?
Oh yeah, published. Yeah, I'm lazy when it comes to publishing. I am not going to do all the work that it takes to do all that publishing. Shit. There you go. First person to curse.
No, but I mean, just I'm surprised. Just like how many people they can get a story in there. Like, I don't know.
I could have probably done another one of these, but again, it's all about that part that people don't tell you guys, folks. One of the biggest things about writing, about creating, is getting your work out there. Being that whole commercial person for your work, or trying to get it to where it needs to go. It's a whole other job by itself, and it takes you away from being creative because you got to do that job to get your book published, to get your art out there. It's a lot of work, folks.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound as easy as it is.
It's a lot, and it's so true. Like it is. That's why people. It's hard because it's like if you're with a publisher, then the publisher will do that for you. But if you're an indie artist, then you have to do it yourself. So, I mean, but then it's like the publishers, they have all, you might not get accepted by a publisher or whatever. So like with the trade-off for that, like for doing your work the way you want to do it, then on the other side of that coin is like, you need to also like hustle yourself. Like
lots of hustle, folks. Lots of hustle. Jerry, you're on like a bunch of different spectrums there with this whole thing, because you've done indie by yourself, and now you're a part of a whole publishing group that publishes stuff out there. What do you think? Well, which way should people go?
I mean, I think it depends. First of all, am I frozen for you guys? You guys were all frozen for me I could always hear you the whole time.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
I would say whatever you're comfortable with. I think some people are very uncomfortable marketing for themselves, and that's hard, so it's hard to go and be like an indie self-published person if you're not someone who wants to get on a lot of podcasts and really push your your name and your stuff in front of people online. Some people are just not comfortable with it. So, if you're not comfortable with it, that's just something you got to come to terms with, and then you might have to wait around a lot longer to get your break and to see your name printed in a book. But, like obviously I went the other way. I'm very happy to jump on and talk to you guys.
Definitely.
That's
what we like to hear.
it's fun, especially and then yeah, just figuring out it's if you're going the indie route and you're trying to be self-published, like just building an audience online that makes some sense, and understanding things like if people are following your, if you have a writer or a professional page or Instagram or Facebook or a Substack or whatever you have, people have signed up because they want to know when you're doing stuff. So you're not going to bother them by reminding them that you have something out there in the world right now.
That is
but
true.
even that, it's like people, you post something on Facebook or whatever, wherever, Blue Sky, and then a day later, you might be like, well, I just posted yesterday. I should probably take a break. I don't want to spam people. But it's just not the way social media works. People don't see everything you post. The algorithms don't work that way. They don't. Everyone who follows you isn't looking at everything you post. So you really have to, just to hit the people who want to see your stuff, you really have to post a bunch of times.
Oh, definitely. I think my most annoying part of the whole thing is the fact that sometimes you got to pay in order for the people on your own feed to see the stuff.
Yeah. See that I refuse. What I try and do is if you start posting things consistently, the algorithm will be on all these platforms will start to show your stuff to more people. So before I need sales, I start posting on like a regular basis. So going into it,
that's important. Yeah.
Something like this, for example. So the book I have on Kickstarter right now is an anthology series. We're on the 4th issue. There were also 2 volumes before I took the project over. So there's 450 pages worth of comics. And I can use imagery from all of those to create stuff to post online.
Yep. Because
all of that stuff is for sale in this campaign. It helps that, Scott Snyder is he's involved in it. And so it's, people have heard of him. So, there's some, you get a little bit of a boost from that, but, you really have to just start posting consistently. And then once you launch your campaign, just keep on that same schedule so that the algorithm knows when to expect stuff from you and when to put it in front of people. And assuming that the people who follow you are actually interested, they'll click and they'll look and they'll see it. And if they're not, they won't, and that's it.
So this is going to be a big book.
Well, this specific issue is it's 450 pages is the cumulative, all the pages available in the campaign.
Ooh.
So we've done 4 issues. They range from 50 to like 70 pages per issue. Each one is a series of short stories, all written by people who are in Scott Snyder's writing class. So it's almost all first or second time creators. Like these are not people we actually try to give more time and space to the people who haven't been printed before.
Right.
It's sort of a way for people who are listening to Scott do his monthly class, who are actually taking what they learn and applying it to their craft. This is sort of like gives them an opportunity to actually write a story, work with an editor, find an artist, go through the whole process, get notes, get feedback from someone who's invested in helping them make the best version of their story, and then we publish it. And so this is our 4th issue. We've done like 220 pages now of our own stuff. And prior to that, there were 2 larger books. The Tales from the Cloakroom. One was 3 years ago, one was 2 years ago. And each of those is about 120 pages. So altogether, you can get all of those stories. The first volume of this that they did, one of the stories was nominated for an Eisner. Like these are really good stories.
Oh, folks, he's not kidding. This stuff looks beautiful. They're amazing stories. You should really check it out. As I'm showcasing some pieces here, and here come the beautiful covers.
The covers. Yeah, this one's by Matt Salisbury. Matt's in the class. He's a writer and an artist. We joke he's the only person who's made money on the show on this thing because he's done a cover for all but 1 issue, I think.
Nice.
And he's had a story or been hired as an artist in almost every issue. So he's been very busy, but he's fantastic. And so that's his cover. This is Pablo Verdugo did this, and Linda Campbell did the colors.
I like these covers. I've been looking at them as I was checking out the thing to talk about everything today, and I was like, "Oh, you guys really went out with these covers."
Anthology covers are hard, because like if you have a theme, it's a little easier. Our theme is just these are all it's whatever you want to write if you're in Scott's class. So there isn't like there's not like a Crypt Keeper character that we can write, that we can add on every cover. There's not like, there isn't, it's not all horror. It's not even like genre specific. There's some horror, there's some psychological stuff, there's some just like funny stuff, like very light fantasy, it's all set up to a punchline kind of stuff. Like whatever kind of story you want to write, will help you work on it. So it's very hard to do a cover. And so what we end up doing are things like this. This is Niccolò Arcudi, who did the art for one of the stories in the book in this issue. We asked him to do a cover. In the story he did the art for, which was written by Nate Schachter. It's a kid goes back to his childhood home and has to face his mom, who he's come to kind of view as a monster, whether that's fair or not. So she's always kind of portrayed in this way, where she's in shadow, her eyes are red, she's like sort of terrifying and monstrous. And you come to realize that part of that might be in his head. It might just be the way he views his own mother because of trauma, their shared trauma together. Maybe he's the monster. It's kind of a cool, like, psychological story.
That's a great story.
Sounds a little dysfunctional to me, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yo, super dysfunctional. that's the idea. And so the cover this is something she does in the story where she's trying to make him something to eat, something, very parental, very like totally normal parental, but it's just to him grating and, angering and upsetting. And so Niccolò made this and we asked them, can you just put a character from every story in the bowl of soup?
Perfect idea, man.
It reminds me of the Queen album where they had the big robot. He's like killing the Queen guys with his photos.
Oh, yeah. That's great. That's good. I never thought of that. That's really good.
See, now you can use that.
Yeah. That's good. I'll use that for the next one. That's really good. But Pablo's cover is like, it's okay. These are all dusty toys in the attic. So there's a toy that represents something from every story.
Dude, it's so thought out.
Right?
You
got Queen, you got Aerosmith. What else you got, Jerry? That's good.
Yeah, there we go. Toys in the attic, right? Very good.
Toys in the attic.
What is it? What would you do this? This one's more like a Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. I don't know.
It is, yeah.
There you go.
The puppets, right?
That reminds me of that Tool video with the little puppets. That's what it reminds me.
You guys got me. It's all 90s references. 80s and 90s.
You can tell, folks, we're all rockers.
That's it.
I've been around a while.
The one with the evil mom, I think, is my favorite, and it has a very like Goosebumps vibe.
Yeah,
it does.
Or maybe it's the green. I don't know what it is. It's very I think that one is the most compelling. Yeah.
That whole
I gotta
story.
say, these can all be rock albums.
Maybe we'll release an album that goes along with it.
There you go.
Oh, for you young people out there, an album is it's like it's like a CD but bigger. Wait, you don't know what a CD is either.
Dude,
vinyl's back. My daughter's been buying vinyl.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Does she play them or just collect them?
She plays them. She
that's good.
even bought a record player.
Wow.
Yeah,
a lot of people just buy them and they don't play them, so it's like
the collector's items.
Yeah, like it's like $500 vinyls.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you guys are pretty close. I mean, really close. But you guys are coming down to the wire because you got 40 hours left, right?
Yeah, we got 40. I think 45 or 46 hours left, and we're about $400 shy right now. It's every campaign is like stressful and weird, and every one of them is stressful and weird in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And like I sat there, the little chart they do for you if you go to your dashboard when you have a campaign and it shows you like the progress bar.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is a different shape. Like this is the 4th issue. I had two books of my own, that I had 2 stories that I wrote. And I ran the Kickstarter for Billy the Kit for Blue Juice Comics.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So this is my 8th Kickstarter, and every single one of them, the only thing they have in common is you get the bump at the beginning if you've gotten people following the campaign before you hit launch, and you get the bump at the end because Kickstarter sends those those messages at 48 hours and 8 hours left.
Yeah.
And other than that, the shape of the line is completely different every time.
Raphael, put the link in the chat.
You guys want the link in the chat before my friend says, where's the link? I'll do that, folks. Here we go.
You got it?
The link in the chat.
Thank you.
That way you guys can go check it out right now. and go support this, because you got a bunch of different stories here. Jay, Jerry, this is also the best way if you're trying to get a comic done, to get it done, because you're not paying for 20 something pages. You might be paying for 5 to 8 pages, which is much more doable, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the way we work on this is we wanted to pay the creators because they're kind of show running their own thing. So part of our goal that we set for every campaign is there's money to pay a page rate for every story. So if you have an artist you want to work with, and we look at what they're doing and we kind of agree with you that this is a good fit, you get I'll just tell you the numbers. We pay $50 a page. And so if you have someone who's like, relatively new and they just want to get their name in the book with Scott's name on the cover, and you get someone that can work for $50 a page, your art is free for your story. If you have someone who wants 100 or 150, you get a discount, because we're going to chip in some money towards your expenses if you've pitched us a story that we want to do.
Cool.
And then the other thing is, this hasn't it's going to sound really altruistic, and it is sort of, but it's nobody's making money, just to kind of put that out there. Veronica Howell, who's my co-editor and co-publisher on the project, we don't pay ourselves anything. So the money that's raised in the campaign covers the printing, it covers the shipping, it covers we do a backer kit thing after the fact that covers the shipping to the backers.
Nice.
It covers the art that we pay for, it covers the cover art that we pay for, it covers whatever design work within the book that we pay for. We paid for some design work before the first issue that we've been kind of using, as a template over and over again. If any issue makes more money than we spent making it, that money gets split up among the creators. So we even when it's profitable, Veronica and I are not paying ourselves anything on this project. Like our goal here was, we were both writers, we're both in Scott's class, and we wanted the experience of working with other writers as editors. So what we get out of it is the experience of being your editor and using a different part of our creative brain, our logistical brain, to kind of build the comic and make it happen on a set schedule, help you make your comic happen, and kind of help people who are new to this, navigate it all so that they don't end up with like colors they hate, but no money to fix it. We kind of help guide you through the process so that it's the best version of your story that you wanted to tell that we can possibly help you make, given whatever resources we have.
So here's the other question. So how would you get into Scott's class? Because this is all part of that.
He does it all in his Substack. So it's the Our Best Jacket Substack. If you just Google Scott Snyder Substack, you can follow it for free. Any paying member gets access to all of the classes he's done in the past. So he's done, just a lot of it's about the craft of writing. Some of it's about the business. And some of it's about like, if you're at the point where, you're already a writer, you have been for a while, and you're starting to, look at adapting, or people are talking to you about adapting your stories into other media and stuff like that, like how to navigate that. There was one where he had superstar editor Will Dennis was on, and they talked about, pitching and how to pitch to an editor and what editors are looking for in a pitch. And we actually based our entire process for if anyone in the class is pitching us a story is following the guide that Will Dennis and Scott laid out in that class.
Right.
So we're using it all, but it's all through Scott's Substack. And then from there, there's a Discord with active members. There's, you can just find me and Veronica online. We're public.
I think one of the things I like about all this is you get yourself into a supportive group of writers, of creators, because it's important to do that as a writer or as a creator, is to find a place where you can actually talk to other creators and feel safe doing so as you guys become better writers.
Yeah. And it's I think it's always good to have people who you're sort of coming up together, you find your own group of people. Like if you look at Scott, he has sort of a group of friends who are his age, who came up in comics at the same time. And then, the generation behind him with like Kyle Higgins and and James Tynan and everybody, like those are coming up right behind him, and then there's another group coming up behind them, and it's they all kind of come up together, you know, and they all like you find. I think right now, like indie comics is having kind of a weird moment, even though it feels very scattered and crazy.
Yeah,
because the lack of normal distribution channels to get into comic shops kind of paved the way for things like Kickstarter and, you know, Indiegogo and Zoop and all these things. So, you know, if you can find 50 people who want to buy your book, you can pay to make your book, and that's amazing. That doesn't put it in stores, but you know, you can create if you get on a consistent schedule and you end up with like your whole series laid out and paid for. Even with just 50 to 100 people are into your thing, you know, that's all you need. Yeah. You don't need to sell thousands of copies.
That's
and you can kind of help defray the cost, make the thing you want to make, and that's its own reward. And if you then have something you can pitch to one of the bigger publishers and get in stores when distribution becomes normal again, you know, it's very rewarding. It's a lot of cool stuff. And having, like you were saying, a group of people who are at your level, who are sort of at your coming up at the same rate you are. You can kind of help lift each other and guide each other.
Did you see did you see like Phil Russert is distributing Devils too? I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
there's a bunch of those now. You know, I think
I feel like good things are happening right now. I mean, like, you know, even like with the big stuff, like Scott Snyder is pretty much saving the industry by himself with absolute passion. So I feel like good things are happening right now. I feel like this is a good time to be positive. I don't know.
I mean, totally. I mean, DC's definitely having a moment. I'm someone who always like when people are like, "Oh, comics are dying," and you know all that kind of stuff. I'm always like why? What is it? What makes you say that? Because,
I mean, if you followed it, there's an ebb and flow. There's a down and there's an ebb.
Yeah, but even the down moments are like everything does that. You know, everything does that.
Yeah.
And it's like you also. Like when you hear people say like, "Oh, manga is killing comics," like manga is comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like they're the same thing. It's a slightly different genre. It's a different format, but that's what happens. Like things evolve, and
be honest,
the storytelling evolves.
I grew up with when comics were, you know, a quarter a piece, then it went up to 40 cents a piece, and then it went up to, you know, 75 cents a piece. Now I go to the store. And I don't know, I'm very discriminating now because they're charging me $5 a piece for a book.
Right.
It's just like, I don't know. I used to buy, you know, multiple copies of books at some points. And now it's like, forget it. I mean, story's not that great, art's not that great. I'm going to buy an indie comic that's going to be more interesting and probably a lot less expensive, you know? So it's just like,
I think it's just the whole industry evolves.
It really has.
Like when you were doing that, they were printed on newspaper and they were meant to be thrown away. They weren't meant to be saved.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they're so valuable from back then. And then when they realized, oh shoot, people are collecting them and reselling them for a lot of money, suddenly they got a little more high quality and a lot more expensive. You know,
like have you seen what's happened with action figures? It's like, you know, as soon as they figured out that like, hey man, kids aren't buying these, it's adults with like money to spend, and you know, and something is wrong with them, so they could just charge like $300 for like a 6-inch figure. You know?
And then what happens? Like you get something like The Walking Dead, right? Like the first issue of The Walking Dead is I think it's still in the last like 30 years, it's the most valuable single issue of any book published because it was like a zombie story in black and white. And I don't think anybody was like, this is going to be the biggest thing in the world for like 20 years.
Right, yeah.
Nobody was thinking that. So they didn't overprint it. They didn't overprint it. They didn't make collector's editions until way later. So if you have a copy of that first run, it's rare. It's you know, and it became a big hit. But that kind of stuff sneaks up on them now. You know, you can't really plan for it.
I have a lot of friends who are so upset that they actually had the book in their hand and they never bought it. Oh man! So folks, go check this out. It's a great book, dude. It doesn't even cost that much.
Yeah, we don't go crazy. You know, again, we're just trying to get it out there in front of people. There are retailer tiers that are in here that are, you know, we essentially are having the retailers pay the cost that it takes us to make the book. So, you know, you can get, I think 10 copies or 20 copies, and it's like $6 a copy or something like that. It's like what, which I know is like, you know, comic shops have to sell books at a rate comparable to what DC and Marvel are putting out. So it's not really, it doesn't look like a huge discount to them, but that's what it costs us to produce the book. So, you know, we're not making a profit on those. But we want it in stores. We want people posting photos of the book in stores. You know, all the creators are excited about getting their book, like going into a comic shop and seeing their name on the shelf. That's the whole thing.
I just showed off my book over here, and I got chills when I opened it up and I saw it. Then I went to it to see my story and the art that Shadow Rabbit did, and I'm so giddy about it right now.
Yeah.
So that's an amazing feeling, folks. And I gotta say, like, you know, we see a lot of books here, and this is like $15 for the book, dude. That is not that much money, and it looks like you went up. Let's see. Show it off over here. There you go.
Free to
You went up.
update it on this side. Did one of you guys give me money?
It's what Shadow called the bitten apple bump.
The bitten apple bump.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Or are we written today? I forget. Today we're bitten apple. Okay.
Yeah, we're bitten.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I appreciate it. I see you. I see you. No, dude, no, Paul, I got it. Loud and clear.
Paul is amazing. He is very supportive of the industry itself through his and through himself. You know, so that's the guy to hang out with.
No, I just I hate appearing on the show because every time I do, it's like, oh god, here I go again.
So, folks, go check this out. It's only $15. Come on. For where else are you going to get 450 pages for $15?
Well, it's not. So don't lie to the people. That's one issue. The 15 bucks is the one issue. $450 is like the whole collection. That's
the whole collection.
$450.
That's still cheap though, because let me see, 15. That's not that much money. No, that's usually what you spend on one of those books that you're getting for 125 pages.
Right.
Yeah. We see those here all the time. It's like, oh, $60. I'm like, okay.
I hope you hit your goal, Jerry. It's all I care about. So
yeah,
thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Jerry, do you have the link to your because your book is going to go on Kickstarter soon, right?
Yeah, it's over on Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern time.
No, your book is going on Kickstarter soon.
Oh, Cicada Samurai?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the pre-launch page up. I am not hitting go on that until the book is done.
Okay.
That's gonna be
have the pre-launch page, right?
Yeah, the pre-launch page is up. You want to
let me get the link and I'll share that.
Yeah, sure. Share the link.
Link.
I'm gonna get a sign that just says "Share the link." Bro.
Share the link.
Share the link. I've had to go look at this one. I actually don't know how many people are following it right now.
So you get
I share it onto some place going, share your books here. You got a Kickstarter going on? I'm like, go, Jerry.
I just realized I actually went through the trouble. I'm such a dope. Like, this is what I'm saying about this, like marketing your own books. Like, I went through the trouble. I have a website, right? There's nothing on it, but I own the domain thornycomics.com. And I went through the trouble of making, a little vanity page for every one of these projects. So I always have the link right here in my brain. It's cicadasamurai.thornycomics.com. I just dropped it in the private link in the private chat there.
Now I press the button, it comes over here. Then my friend goes, Ralph, you're not sharing it. I'm not going to go look for it. So now I'm going to share it so you can go look for it.
There you go.
And I love this book. Can you tell the people a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is something I started writing during the pandemic. I did a 10-page short. It's the first thing I wrote myself. It sort of came out of two things. One, there was a huge brood of cicadas that emerged, and I had a lot of time on my hands, so I had time to become obsessed with them. So that was the one thing. And then the other thing is I have 3 kids, and keeping 3 kids alive as a parent when they're young, they're right now they're between the ages of 9 and 14. But this was, 3 or 4 years ago, so they were smaller. And when you have small children, if you guys have kids, you know this, they are just, all they are little attempted suicide machines. They just go around trying to hurt themselves and kill them, like walking into traffic and crazy stuff, right? So I started, and with the pandemic, there was like a heightened anxiety anyway, but I started to get like a little anxiety about keeping my 3 kids alive. And then I became obsessed with cicadas. So I took these 2 concepts and I put them together into this idea of the cicadas emerge every 17 years. They come out of the ground. They live above ground long enough to mate and die. And that's their whole life cycle. So in my mind, I was like, okay, This is 1 billion 17-year-olds going, and they're all going to prom night on the same night. And they're all going out to misbehave. They know for them there's no tomorrow. They know they're going to die. So they're going to go out and just get themselves in trouble. And among them is one single immortal adult, one single immortal cicada samurai who's imbued with magical samurai powers. And his job is to protect enough of the brood from the cicada killing hornet and all these other monstrous evil things, so that the cicadas can breed and the cycle can continue. And he's been around for 6 cycles, so he's about 100 years old. And all the other cicadas are teenagers. So a lot of the language in the book is like parents. It's like, oh, these kids they're gonna be the death of me. It's that kind of stuff. But then it's also he has to like pull out a sword. He's got 4 arms, each one with a blade, and he's got to fight these gigantic monsters. And you know, in the 10-page story, there was a crow. 2 of the cicadas decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sneak up above ground before it's time to emerge. And they do it under this. It's a total teenager thing. Like, dude, like one of them is daring the other one to do it. Come on, man, we're going to go check it out. And then when we come up here later, we're going to be the only guys who know our way around. It's going to be awesome. You know,
I'm not a cicada. Even I know that's a mistake. That's okay.
It's a huge mistake. And,
I know that process.
It's only a 10-page story, so it's a huge mistake that they pay for pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
It's a very violent kind of story. Very
awesome.
like.
It's awesome. I can see like I didn't just see like these young cicadas being like, you're ruining, instead of like you're ruining my life, you're ruining my only day.
Yeah. But I live one day, you know. And the thing is, these are like his family kind of. He's like their great uncle or something like that. You know?
This story sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love how your mind works.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
We like having Gary on the show.
Can I tell you something? That the idea for this, the reason I put these things together in my head into this story is because of Scott's class. So as you guys, I'm sure you've all heard this, right? You know the expression, write what you know?
Yeah.
I've always heard that. It to me has always felt like, if you've ever done like improv comedy, you know that yes and thing you're supposed to add to the other person what they bring to the table. That to me, the write what you know has always to me felt like someone just shutting you down. Like, you don't know anything about that, don't write that. And Scott, I don't think he actually put it this way exactly, but he took the write what you know thing and he kind of talked about it more in a way of like, write what you feel, write like the thing that you're feeling. So all of his stories, when he'll talk about the way he writes Batman, and he'll relate Batman's relationship with all the Robins to his own relationship with his own kids, you know, and it's all like the whatever pressure or fear or anxiety or rage he's feeling about anything going on in his real life, he puts it into the characters he's writing. And so he's writing what he feels, not like, it doesn't mean like you have to be a mailman to write about a mailman, you know, you need to go to war to write about war. It means write what you feel. So that's what this was. I was like obsessed with these cicadas. I just thought they were fascinating. They look like little monster fighter samurai guys. And then I just was like, had all this anxiety about my kids. And I was like, I'm going to take the thing that I feel, I'm going to write about this thing that I'm learning about and see where it goes. And it kind of, you know, from there, the whole universe just kind of built itself in my brain as we were working on it. It was a lot of fun, though.
I think it's fun. I love it. It's great.
Thank you. So this was the original thing was an issue 0. I knew I was going to do like a 10-page like Ashcan kind of thing, and then this is issue 1. So this will be the first full issue of the story. I got really lucky with this too. This is like another thing about if you're going to write and try and publish yourself. If you have an artist or someone you want to work with and they're online, you know, a lot of them are online because they want to be accessible. Just reach out, because I reached out to Takashi Okazaki, who did Afro Samurai and does like Star Wars Visions now, and just was like, hey man, I have an idea about a samurai bug. If any interest in hearing it. And he, like, cicadas apparently are a very big part of Japanese culture in addition to being native to America. So he was just into it. So he did my original character designs before he got really busy doing Star Wars. And, you know, he always told me he wasn't going to be able to write to illustrate the book. But he did the original character designs, and he did a cover. One of those designs he did, I used as a cover for the first issue that I did, the mini issue. And then I had to find another artist, and this woman Mary Landro, who's amazing. She's really big on Instagram. She had just done a Kickstarter. She's incredibly talented, and she has sort of, it's less like Takashi, like his work looks more like video game manga-ish, and Mary's is more anime. So the characters all kind of evolved a little bit more into her style, which I also love. And then we did this story. So I just need to finish, buttoning up my script and get it back to her, and we'll have the first issue out there. But I wanted to let it sit there, marinate for a while.
Very cool.
Yeah, you got it, bro. You're doing the work. You're doing the work. You're doing the job. You're making the class work for you. And so that means you're an inspiration out there going, look, this works. I can show you that it works because here's my work. And that's always good because, you know what it is? Us writers are skeptical.
Right. Yeah, you kind of have to be. Otherwise, you keep writing. You got to keep on like writing and rewriting and, trying to make it better. And the places that feel soft, you go and you shake those places and try and rebuild them stronger, The anxiety is part of the process.
It is. All right, man. Look who's joined us. Blake has joined the room. Hey, Blake, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Blake.
Yeah, I snuck in. I'm sorry I'm a little late.
No problems. Don't worry about it. Mindy, we were going to talk about your stuff right now. So why don't you start talking, and I'll show the people, because I know you guys are going, what's Mindy looking at? She's been up to something over here.
Oh, yes, I have. I don't know. Can you see my screen or?
Here we go.
Not sure. Okay, so I'm inking a page. This is zoomed in really big, but I'm inking a page of my Airhead comic. This is Airhead number 3.
Nice.
And this is, I'm in Clip Studio right now. And so I'm almost done with like the characters, but I'm working on like 3 pages. I still need to do the background on this. But 3 consecutive pages. This one is all digitally inked. So I draw it by hand and then I ink it digitally. So these and more will be featured in a very special, very different comic show. It is different than any other comic. It's not a comic convention at all, but it's a solo show, like in a gallery featuring my comic art. And I'm titling it Storyboard to Stars.
Cool.
Yes. And the reason why is because I'll put like storyboards, I'll put like the drawn pages. And yes, there it is. There's the Eventbrite. Yay. Yeah, I had to put the main image sideways because the Eventbrite like is horizontal.
What is that link, Mindy? What is that link?
I get it. Put the link over there. I get it.
Yeah. Although
have we figured out the identity of Ralph's friend that I was always bothering him about the link?
Dude, if you ever meet him, you'll know who he is because he sounds the same as I'm doing, and he gets so upset when I do it.
He sounds like him to the same exact thing he said. Come on, get involved to the mystery. So, all right. Get a copyright straight. Stop.
I gotta say, what made you decide to do this? It is different.
It's super different. So, I am in an art studio. I'm in it right now, actually. So I share with 2 other studio mates, but it's in a big complex that has like 100 other studios. And so there's like 150 artists here in the gallery, in the Treasure Island studio space itself. Nice. But in the middle of that is a gallery, and every month there's a different artist that has a show. It's a solo show. Sometimes it could be like a small group show, or sometimes 2 people, but usually it's a solo show. And in the fall, everyone that wants to submit like a proposal. And I proposed something, about my comic art, and the studio manager chose me as one of only like 12 other people to get this honor of this solo show. So It's really special and it's unique. I feel like it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity for cartoonists because I mean, a lot of the other artists are like fine artists, like oil painters, photographers, maybe sculptors, and and stuff like that. In which like having a gallery show is like normal. Like, oh, maybe this will be like the jumping off point. I'm
Right.
not expecting it to be a kind of jumping off point. I really, the main goal for the show is to like get my work out there and get more people interested in my work. And you can see it's really like a real life version of what my Patreon is. So when you go to the show, you'll see the physical artwork on the walls and also some printouts. Because, you know, as you know, like I'm digitally inking, but I have the physical like pencils
Right.
for the pages as I start out. But I also have like concept art, like watercolor studies. Like you'll see the planet Mars there in the background, and issue 3, part of it takes place on Mars. And so I've done all these like watercolor studies of like how I'm gonna like portray the landscape. And it's just really, I mean, I've been a big geek about Mars for a really long time. I was super excited to showcase that in my story, and it's part of the world building, you know. And so anyway, like for anyone that's in the tri-state area, I would suppose if you could get out here, the show opening is Wednesday, July 9th. So that is the Wednesday after 4th of July, because having it on 4th of July weekend, it would just like be screwed up. So Wednesday, July 9th, 7 to 9 p.m. is a free show. So come out here. It's in Red Hook / Gowanus area. You take the FG line to Smith Ninth. And yeah, there will be like refreshments, you know, you can like network with other cartoonists, other artists in the studio. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to have some of my comics there for sale as well, if you are not familiar with Airhead. And little plug for this. Yes, the book. Yes, Airhead is the story about Air, the psychic surfer that predicts that a giant solar flare will destroy Earth. But yeah, so that's what happens in issue 1, and then on issue 3, they're in Mars. So like, how the heck do they get from, you know, point A to that point? So well, you'll just have to find out at the show.
Exactly. You know, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to lead them into the show. Come find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Folks, this sounds interesting. I feel like you should guys go all check it out. And it's far enough away so you can't say, "Oh, I can't go, Ralph." No, it's far enough away, folks. Come on, it's July 9th.
It's only in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. I'm still like creating the artwork that's going to be in the show. I have like
That sounds about right.
We're faster.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? I did really good today. I was super productive. I'm almost done inking all 3 pages. So this is very good. And yeah, so what I could do is this scene is this is like a storm scene. So right here, okay, wait. Give you a little preview. So I don't know how do you guys feel about spoilers? Do you guys not like spoilers?
I'm for them.
I'm for them.
Okay.
I'm for them.
For spoilers. Okay.
Paul doesn't like spoilers.
Okay.
Depends on the spoiler, but you have to entice people too, so that's a plus.
Okay, so close your ears if you don't want to hear spoilers.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
But this is a good spoiler because this is not the final work. So this is not what you're finally going to see at the peak of the whole thing when you have it finally get it. So it's kind of like a look what we have, and it's going to be something else later.
Yes, it is.
Like I always say, if you're not watching live, you know, just fast forward. What you say?
Exactly.
2 minutes ahead, and then you're good.
Right. Spoiler. Let's go.
Spoilers, let's go. Okay.
Either way, congratulations on the progress, my dear.
Yeah, I mean that's
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
I mean, I don't remember us ever talking about an art exhibit on the show, so that's a new one for us.
See, comics first, guys. Comics first. And then maybe it'll be the start to like, if people see my show, then they'll be like, oh, like this can be a thing, and there can be more comic art in other venues, in other galleries. I've been in some group shows that are starting to happen. Like one was in a bar, last
New
York Comic Con. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it can happen. But yeah, anyway, the spoiler. So the spoiler is in issue 1, Air sees the future in his dreams. But then in issue 3, it starts to happen where like he starts to see it like in front of his eyes, like when he's awake, and he doesn't like realize this at first. And so like here in this page, they're like flying on Mars with whatever, like V's power is wind, and so she can fly in issue 3. And so then they're flying around, they land, and then they're just like talking about whatever. And then like Air starts to notice, he's like, whoa. He's like, looks behind. And then there's his powers, and he sees something behind him. And it's like coming right at him. It's like the storm. And there's like all this debris, and there's trees, and it's like coming right at him. And side note, I drew this page on Friday? And then on Saturday when I went jogging, there was all these broken trees, like from this crazy storm that we had.
Yeah.
Right? And so then I was like, oh my gosh, I took a bunch of pictures, and that informed this reference here of how the trees are broken and like all chopped up and stuff, and like the splinters and whatever. So guys, like real life, like learn from life, like take that opportunity. And then I saw, I went jogging today, not for that long because it was like a zillion degrees, and they had already cleared the trees away. So I was like, yeah, it's like you really got to jump on that. But anyway, that was a little side note. So he's like, he like sees this, or so he thinks. He's like, get down. And so then V is like, she's like realizing, she's like, oh, like there's nothing there. and then Air's like, what? Like, what is going on? And that actually was a prediction of this storm that will happen that they gotta be careful about. And yeah, like that, I still need to storyboard all that part, because I'd stopped the storyboarding process for issue 3 to like jump in and draw these and ink these so I could have some finished new work for the show. So but yeah, I'm like geeking out about it. Guys, I've thought about this scene in my head for years, and only now I am able to, number 1, have my shit together enough, and number 2, like have the skills enough to be able to like depict the scene the way I want and like in the story I want. And so like I am in a good place right now about my comic work, and I'm super happy to share it with you all.
Love it. Love what you're doing. Love where you're going. I like how different and new it is.
Thank you.
That's the whole thing you want to do. You want to stay creative, keep making things happen, keep doing things. Have fun with it.
May I ask? Are you a fan of 90s animation? Because I see kind of influences there, unless that's just.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I see it. I see it in your style. That's why I'm asking.
Thank you. Yes, I. A lot of people get 90s and 80s vibes, and particularly like anime and manga. Like seriously, I'm in Club Studio. I literally put this Zoom thing. That's totally a manga thing. It's like I put that in there. Manga's not killing comics. Manga is extenuating comics. Manga. I honestly, that's the first time I've ever heard anyone say that. I don't know. Maybe we're in different circles, but I think that when I was little, I had to hunt for comics around. Like I had to hunt for the manga. You couldn't find it easily, and now we can find it in the library, easily accessible. So I think it's a wonderful thing that manga has really made these strides in American culture. You know,
I remember when I was young, I was like, like I just like a lot of anime I saw was in straight up Japanese. Sometimes it was sometimes it wasn't. But I still remember the first time. Two of my Asian friends, they took me to Japanese store one time and just showed me around, and I bought some stuff. I couldn't read it, but I didn't care. I bought some stuff. And then one time I went by myself, and the guy owner, it was so funny. He looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I'm just buying stuff." This Japanese bookstore, and it's so funny. Like how then you give it like a couple of months, then he's used to me, and it's like it was like that wave of like people that were Japanese were coming in and buying the stuff. So yeah, I was buying Ramon Half, Dragon Ball Z. Couldn't read it at all, but I just loved artwork and sometimes I just wanted to see what happened, even if I couldn't like read. At least I would know like a little bit ahead what will happen in the anime, So of what I was up to. So yeah, it was cool. And their magazines are amazing, man. Like,
well,
Japanese magazines are amazing. That's
telling the story visually, yeah.
Yeah, because they're magazines. They have you buy a video I remember like our video game magazines used to be good, but our video game magazine before they like kind of went away. It's just words and words and words and words and words. Their magazines, like, yeah, there's words, but there's pictures, there's artwork, there's fan art, everything, man. Even if you don't read it, you just get it's like a whole different culture. Yeah, that's cool. But it's great that it's like more accepted now, like and it's everywhere. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Some of the best anime is 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean, look. Like I guess the CGI stuff. I mean, we kind of got like used to it and stuff, and it's kind of gotten to a point where it's pretty good. But most of the time, I'll take hand drawn, man. I see something that's just like completely hand drawn, like the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Like when you see a car, you see like a car in the 80s. You see like a car in the 80s, or you see like a horse. Somebody drew that car, and somebody drew that horse, and now like. Like we got to a point where sometimes you can't tell, but you know that everybody drew that car.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like in what is it? Akira, Bubblegum Crisis. What's other ones? Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Anime. Some of my favorite shows from the 80s were things that were just copies of anime, and I didn't. I was a kid. I didn't know that until way later. Like Voltron is just a knockoff of an earlier anime series.
Yeah, well, Voltron is it's a dub of a Go Lion. They just like they just took out a lot of the death. They softened it, but it wasn't.
There's another one though. Yeah. I know the Go Lion one, but there's another one that like looks exactly like the Voltron. It's the same robot almost.
Vehicle Force.
Is that what it is?
Voltron Vehicle Force.
There's another there's another one that's not a Voltron show. It's like a precursor. It's like a few years before, but it's an actual anime because Voltron was an American studio. This is something like Armored Fleet something.
15. I remember there was also another thing where they combined a bunch of anime shows where it was like, and then they made it in American. It was called Macron 1, if you remember that.
Yeah, it's Robotech.
Yeah, you kind of remember that.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Too?
Yeah, robots. Yeah.
This is the right crowd to ask this question. Do you guys remember a show that used to be on Saturday mornings? And I'm forgetting the name of it now. I can normally remember the name of it, but I can. It's so rare to find anyone who remembers it. Yeah. It was based on a game that was like laser tag. It wasn't laser tag. It was laser tag's competition, and it was a kid would like get in his car and leave his house in the morning, and his mom would be like, "Be careful," and be like, "Shut up, mom," or like some 80s thing. And then he would go to the laser tag place nearby, and he would shoot like a certain target, and it would absorb him into another planet. It was very like Starfighter, Last Starfighter. And so he would get sucked into this laser tag game, but they were playing laser tag for real to like free planets from some evil group of other people who also play laser tag.
That was awesome.
There was a laser tag cartoon, but I don't think it was about that.
This wasn't a cartoon. This was live action.
Oh, I know you're.
There was a show where they gave you a gun and they said you can use your gun and you can point it at the screen. But I don't think it actually worked. But they said that you could, and
this was literally a knockoff of lasers. I'm gonna look it. I'm gonna try and find it now.
Yeah, it was an interactive show, right? You can interact with the toys and stuff like that.
I don't think so.
That's the one I'm talking about. That it was supposedly interactive. Yeah, but I don't remember what it was called though.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Before he said laser tag, I was thinking JC and the Wheeled Warriors. If you remember that from like the 80s and 80s. where he was kind of like what is it, Han Solo kind of character, but he was fighting people that were plant people.
Yeah, I remember that. Vaguely, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that had a great soundtrack. Same
Photon.
Photon. Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
I think that's what I'm thinking about. I think that I think they had a segment where you can use your toy gun and aim it at the screen.
That's what I was talking about.
I don't know if it actually worked though, but you could, because it doesn't. I don't know, but
how could they possibly make that work?
Yeah, I know, but I guess it was just. I guess it was,
kids' imaginations.
It's just like a gimmick. It's like, hey, when you shoot the screen, this thing will blow up. But I guess if you put something like in I guess we call it first person perspective, and you just shoot it, it looks like you're doing something. I don't know.
I mean, maybe something like that could work now with the technology, like scan this QR code and like use your phone. Like I could see something like that happening.
On your computer, sure. I don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it'll work on a TV. Well, I don't know. TVs. I mean, some people watch TV on their computers. I don't know. So.
Yeah, a lot of people watch TV on their computer now.
Maybe it's possible.
So Blake, you're joining us. Why don't you tell the people all the beautiful stuff, especially since you're going to Garden State Comic Fest as well?
Oh yes, I will be there with some outstanding artists and so many wonderful creatives. What do you want me to introduce myself, I guess?
Dude, give us the spiel. Tell us who you are.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know who you are, but these people out here, sometimes they forget stuff.
Well, I forget things too, my mind is good, but it's short. But let's see. My name is Blake Zawatsky. I'm a writer. I came from a background of film and television.
Blake the GOAT.
Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you. But now I'm stepping back into the comic book sphere with an awesome and very talented team. I'm very grateful. The comic is called Philandra Heroine of Darkness. It's about a female who's named Adriana Woods. She has to deal with the loss of her mother, as well as the rise of crime in a futuristic cyberpunk future set 70 years. By day, she's a journeyman mechanic, which most people may not know what that is. That's a mechanic in training. And then I also have a new banner that just came in recently, a little preview of what it looks like. But an outstanding team led by, artists Eli Ramos. Oh, and there's the banner for Garden State Comic Fest. Two of the artists, Ava and Keith, are going to be there. They're the cover artists for the issue 1. We're going to be unveiling it there at Garden State Comic Fest. You're able to pick it up for purchase. And I'm just very grateful and blessed with such a reception that it's been getting, and thank you guys for your support and everybody's support. Was at the Burbank International Film Festival, where we won Best Television Series Pilot based on the comic book. So It's been winning accolades across the country for the last 2 years. So that's the variant cover done by Ava. Very talented artist and friend. Who else is involved? Eli, who does the the interior art, as well as Justin Birch. He is a very talented letterer. He's shout out to him as well. And then also the legendary Rick Parker did a little bit of work. I want to thank him again, as always. He did the lettering for the logo. So we have a lot of all walks of life of the comic book industry, which again, I'm very blessed and grateful to have that as part of the team for comic issue 1. So if you look at her costume, it's influenced by Sikh culture, and she's trained in a form of Sikh martial arts, which is, if you're not familiar with that, is a combination of stick fighting as well as origins of Kung Fu. So there's a lot of layers to the character and the background. There's a lot of themes in the story, It's got elements of magic as well as tech, themes of sisterhood as well as extended family. Well, that was when I was at Ghostbuster Day. Shout out to the New York City Ghostbusters. They're actually going to be at Garden State Comic Fest too. Really, really cool cats. And yeah, so if you see in this picture, Adriana has a lot of elements of like extended family. So she has a couple of different surrogate fathers. One is Straight Arrow, which kind of gives her persona. Thank you. But it's Straight Arrow helps her train in the martial arts as well as in trying to help her deal with her pain and try to give her peace. And also another character that you see there is Cole, the two-tailed mystical cat, which I'll just tease you with that. There's a lot of elements with that. So it's I've been very grateful as far as the audience for this. It's teens to young adults as well as the female demographic across the board, which I want to say thank you to everyone who's been very supportive and with this anticipation for this comic. It's in reality, I have, like I said, I touched upon the screenplay that was there for an animated series. In reality, I have a full season already written, as well as notes for 6 seasons. So as far as the comic book, I'm currently working on writing issue 7. So we're in it for the long haul. But like I said, the first issue is going to be debuting at the Garden State Comic Fest, and I want to thank everybody over there for such love and support that they've done. That's one of 8 Comic Cons that I'll be doing for the remainder of the year.
Oof.
So So I'm, and then I'm already have people that are asking me to do Comic Cons across the country in 2026. So I'm just very grateful, and thank you to you guys as well. And but hello, Paul. I see you there.
Awesome. That was great news, Blake. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And congratulations to you as for Time Enforcers. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at Garden State Comic Fest.
Almost
right.
definitely.
Paul and Blake will be at Garden State Comic Fest showing off their stuff. And you heard Blake say it. You can get the book there for the first time. That's why you want to get over there.
Yeah. And like I said, also Keith and Ava are going to be there, the 2 comic book artists. Yep. Mm-hmm. So you have to visit their tables as well. I will be doing a couple of cons with Eli too. So, and then I know Justin was over at the Heroes Con this past weekend, and also Keith and Ava were there, and a lot of other very talented friends and artists that I know. Oh, there's Keith. Keith is always wonderful. He's the legendary Keith Williams, and he's a great friend. I cannot.
I tell you.
Yeah. What's that, Paul? I didn't hear it.
He's a man with a big heart. I love Keith. Great
guy. I love Keith too. Great guy. Everybody who's I've come across in the last year in the comic book industry, I'm just very grateful, and professionals, fans, enthusiasts. You've welcomed me with open arms, and I hope that we don't disappoint you, and I hope we're here for the long haul. And there's a lot of surprises. I'm beaming that I want to tell you more, but everybody knows me. I tease. So
you're a great guy, Blake, and you got a great product. So nothing but
success,
my friend. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you, my friend, and I appreciate it. And I always try to pass the support as well on social media. You always see me on Instagram. I always want to pass good vibes to all my friends and fellow colleagues, because you guys have showed me love as well.
Yep. And
I want to say thank you.
I gotta say, Blake, you've put in the work, man. You got the awards. This thing has legs on it. So people, he's not being braggadocious. So come over here, check him out, get the book. First time ever. You collectors out there going, ooh, first time ever.
Yes. And I'm waiting on also a surprise in July. I hope it happens, but we'll see. I don't want to say anything, but I'm just hoping it happens, but we'll see.
Blake, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Yeah. So you said that there is TV series that is based on your book. Now, how did this happen? Sorry if I maybe zoned out and missed it or something, but like, how did you pitch this, or did like a TV company like approach you, and like, do you have the rights and like?
Well, I have the rights to the product. I'm sorry, Mindy. Continue. I apologize. I didn't mean to jump on you there.
Oh no, that's I'm just curious because I think that many comic creators kind of envision our stories as either like a live action or an animation, and would be curious to see how you got it to happen.
Well, right now I envisioned it as, because like I said, I come from a film background, so I'm a live action film person, but I had to step away for about 4 years because of personal stuff. So I stepped back in and I started getting involved with the animation world. I'm a professional member of ASIFA, if you're familiar with the organization, who put on the Annies every year. Shout out to them. They're awesome people over there. But to answer your question, right now, it's a screenplay as well as a series Bible. And I have screenplays for a complete full season, as well as notes for 6 seasons. So it was one of 2 projects I did during COVID, as well as other jobs and other things that I was doing at the time. But I have people in the animation world, voice actors, who are very interested in being part of it once we start pushing to go there. I've had people that read the script. They're very interested. It's just getting the ball rolling again now that everything is starting to keep going, after the end of the world, even though we're past that, but we're still not out of the woods yet. So, and the industry is changing. Don't let anybody tell you different. It is changing. It's pivoting, not just in California, but all over the country, all over the world. It's now a global thing, production. So like you were even saying in New York, I'm a little familiar with some of the people in New York. The animation field is expanding, as you know. But did that kind of answer your question in a roundabout way, Mindy? Or
wait, no, but like, how did people? Sorry, no, it was all cool stuff, and I was like, wait, no, but like, how is it? Am I misunderstanding? Like, there was.
I'm not following what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Oh no, like it. Didn't you say at the beginning that there is a TV show that's based on your book, or did I miss?
TV show in development.
It's in development. Okay.
Yeah, I have it's like I said, it's right now it's a series of screenplays, as well as a series Bible, and also I have voice actors that are interested in the product.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's where we're at right now. The first thing in the general market will be the comic book. So, and that was mainly because of the strikes. So
yeah, because Blake was going in the other direction at first. He wanted to make this into what he was making it, which is the script and all this and that. And then he realized that he had to pivot a little bit, and that's why he went in the comic book direction.
Yeah. So now I'm treating it like an IP. And, so that's, and a lot of people have been very influential with me, encouraging me to go into the comic book industry, like Ralph and Tony and everybody. What is it? A lot of comic book store owners and Keith Williams, Eli Ramos, Kevin Altieri, and many others who have been very influential to me. So, and that's where that's why I pivoted into going into the comic book industry, and it's been very welcoming to me. Also, Jim Shooter is another one who's been very influential and encouraging to me. Shout out to him. I hope he's feeling better. I know he's had some health issues. I was talking to Brittany, who's also his manager. I hope they're doing okay. So shout out to Jim. And but there's a lot of people. There's a big laundry list of people that have been very wonderful and very encouraging to me. and that's why I'm very grateful for that.
I was telling Blake in the beginning that if you have the comic book, you can show it around going, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm planning, and it makes it easier to show it around.
That's the best thing about comics is, as long as somebody can draw it, you can do it. When it gets to live action, it's like, oh, we can't film at that location. Oh, we don't have the rights to this. We don't have the rights to that. Oh, you have to get this in. So as long as somebody can draw, you're good. So.
Well, even the same thing. Philander is so diverse in that way, where it could be animation, it could be live action. It's in that hemisphere where it could be adapted to any form, and so like I'm just very excited with it.
Yeah, I think live action is the toughest. Just how many times you have to pivot. I don't know, with like real life and stuff like that.
It's the same thing as everything else.
It's also a fun thing to figure out those problems. It's also fun. Yeah.
Because I first met Blake at Urban Action Showcase, and that's when it was still he was still going in the direction of trying to make this happen the other way.
Yeah, with animation and film. Which shout out to Demetrius and Molly, they're awesome. And everybody over there, which Urban Action Showcase will be one of my conventions that I will be returning with Philander, and Eli will be with me. So
should be interesting.
We
love Urban Action Showcase.
So that's in Manhattan.
Yep, so. It's in October this year.
Yes, very excited.
Usually in November, but this year's in October.
Yeah, because Demetrius told me he had to not giving too much away. He had to move it for some other
there was some issues.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the details, but they got a heckin' event too. Like they got the anniversary of Mortal Kombat, and
there's a lot of stuff happening this year at Urban Action Showcase. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So and what else? But but like I said, I don't want to jump the gun, but with Garden State Comic Fest, it's going to be a large Comic Con. It's one of the best in New Jersey. No disrespect to everybody else. There's so many great, wonderful Comic Cons in New Jersey, but this is a great one too. So definitely check it out.
Definitely check it out. Go say hi. Come say hi. I'm going to be there.
Yes.
And if you say something to me, you may be in the trailer. Tony's gonna be there.
I get to meet Tony.
Cool. Yeah, Paul's gonna be there, and who else? Keith and Chris. Who else? Who else is gonna be there?
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. A lot of wonderful creatives and talented people.
And it's a new location, folks.
Yes.
Brand new location. So there's a lot of good stuff happening.
I think Vaughn said he's going to be there.
Yeah, Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn's a very, very talented cat. I like Vaughn. I met him at the. I think I met him before Garden State Anime Fest, but don't quote me on that. I think I met him like how you meet so many people. It's more like a
right.
And that's no disrespect. It's just you just know so many people, and you forget hey, where did you meet you?
Well, you know what I mean? Vaughn's been around us for a while because he won that competition with Phil Russert.
Did he?
Yeah, that's how I first saw that little bit of him in one of Phil Russert's books, because he won that I think where he gets to showcase a little bit of his book in one of Phil's books.
Oh, very cool! I didn't know that. That's congratulations to both of them.
Yeah,
very cool.
Folks, there's a lot of ways to have fun in this industry.
Yes.
Jerry, one more time, tell the people all the good stuff where they can find you.
Who's looking for me?
Me, I'm looking for you because I want.
I'm looking for you right now.
I'm looking for you right now.
Who's asking? Who wants to know?
I want to know. What are you gonna do here?
Listen, I'm from Brooklyn. I know a guy. Okay.
I know people. I know people from Brooklyn too.
Forget about
good company. Forget
about it. I live in Brooklyn. Forget about it.
What's the matter with you, huh?
What's the matter with you? So, the project on Kickstarter right now is Scott Snyder Presents the Cloakroom. It's an anthology series. There's about 44 hours left to back it. It ends on Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern time. So jump on over there. You can. The campaign is pretty self-explanatory. So. If you're into short comics and you want to support new people who are getting their first stories published, it's a good way to do it. You can find me. I'm Thorny Comics. I'm the only Thorny Comics online pretty much anywhere as far as I can tell. So I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm most active on Blue Sky. And on Substack, I'm jerrycarita.substack.com. And it's worth noting, anyone who's a subscriber to my Substack, I only have a free tier. I don't have paid tiers. But if you're a subscriber, you get a $4 discount on shipping for anything you order from me through Kickstarter.
That's a good benefit right there.
Yeah,
and of course,
I want a dedicated but small following of people who actually read the emails. That's what I was going for.
That gives you a good crowd, though. That gives you a good crowd.
Yeah, it worked. I have about 350 something subscribers now, and I'm very happy every time I send an email and I get an open rate of like 80%.
Wow!
But it's an opt-in only thing. I don't push it. I don't have a website that's trying to trick you into signing up for it. It's basically like, if you're into comics and you find it and you sign up for it, you're there because you're into it. And so it's a smaller but actually engaged group of people, which is very cool.
Dude, you have 160 followers on this thing.
Oh, on Cicada Samurai, yeah. That thank you. That pre-launch page has been sitting there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good following. A lot of people are trying to get there so they can get their Kickstarter going.
Yeah, Ralph. I'm what you would call an idiot. I did when I did the first Cicada Samurai book. Like I did 2 books that I wrote. One was the Grizzly Crew, which was an all ages story.
Mm-hmm.
Those all ages stories, traditionally don't do gangbusters on Kickstarter, and that one didn't. And it was mostly supported by family members and friends. It was mostly people like when I go down the list of supporters, I know almost everybody by name. Nice. Cicada Samurai actually had a mind of its own. So I got 200 followers on that. It clearly has legs, and I have not gone back to it in way too long, and I should have much sooner. So this is why I'm an idiot, but that's why I think it has. There's clearly an audience there that wants to see more of it. So,
folks, be there when he starts the thing off, because you want to be there. And you want to support this thing because it's a fantastic idea. You heard him say what he said before.
It's called life, Jerry. You got 2 kids, man. I know.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
All right. It is your turn, Mindy.
Oh yes. So, So this is me continuing my digital inking here, but if you want to see more, if you're curious about how the comics process happens and unfolds, everything from the storyboard to the drawn pages and the coloring and everything, check out Storyboard 2 Stars, happening July 9th. Is a solo show in a artist gallery. So this is different than a Comic-Con, but it is still like comics fans. And I feel like anyone could like this show because it's like process shows in particular, like how you do the work is very interesting. So it's free. Go check out the Eventbrite. I believe the short link is Eventbrite/Storyboard to Stars. Just Google Storyboard to Stars, Neil.
But they don't have to, because it's in the comments section where they should be clicking it right now.
That's right. All right, click the link in the comments section.
Exactly.
The Storyboard to Stars. If you're in the New York City area, or hey, I feel like even if you're like a little further afield, there's always a great excuse to visit New York City. So like, why not get a slice, New York City pizza, you love it, and then go see Storyboard to Stars.
Folks, you're gonna want to check this out. This all sounds fantastic. Just the fact that it's this whole studio with all these artists, and they all get to do a show together. I love it, love it, love it.
Yay!
Blake, of course, we just heard from you, but come on, tell the people where you're going to be and all the beautiful stuff.
Well, I will be with many talented artists and creators. You can check them out at Garden State Comic Fest. in West Orange on next weekend. I will be there. Escapes me right now what my table is right now, but I'm sorry, I'm blanking out.
Isn't that how it always is?
Well, like I said, my memory is good, but it's short, and I'm also blonde. So, but
is it next weekend? Or is it this weekend?
This weekend.
This weekend coming up.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
And like I said, I'll be joined by fellow Philandra team Keith and Ava. Again, shout out to them, and as well as, like I said, many others who are awesome creators, artists, guests. You could find me at on Instagram and Facebook. You just type in my name, Blake Zawadsky, BlakeZawadzki.
Actually, easy to find you, man.
Yes, it is. It's a very unique name. You just got to spell it. But again, I'm very grateful with all the love and support, and I just want to pass the good vibes to fellow people as well. So thank you.
So go.
And BlakeZawadsky.com. So
there you go. And of course, Garden State Comic Fest. Go pick up the book. You know you want it. Ava and Keith will both be there. You can get them to sign it, and you can buy their beautiful art. And of course, Ava's art will be on the passes, so you can get her to sign your pass.
Oh, yes, cool. She'll be on the passes, and also, like here, if you want to see the comic, I actually have it in my hand right now.
Ooh, it's always good to see it. Hold on. Oh, it looks even better in person.
And then, that's the variant cover, and then this is also the one that is the main cover.
Nice.
By Keith. So,
cool.
So it's in hand. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing, folks. You go to Garden State Comics Fest. You go pick it up. You know you want to. Come on, folks. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. It's gonna be a wonderful event. So a lot of great people there.
Oh, Garden State Comic Fest is always a blast. Yeah. And speaking of Garden State Comic Fest, always a blast. Mr. Paul, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and the fact that you're going to be at Garden State Comic Fest too?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Garden State Comic Fest as well at booth 154. We're selling our game, episode 1 of Time Enforcers, which is available on app stores, Mac and PC. So we're pretty excited about that. We have a bunch of cool merchandise that we're debuting at the event as well. We've got new magnets featuring a character that's going to be appearing in episode 2 called Detective Nico Time, which we voiced Rafael Tavares. So pretty excited about that. And what's cool about Nick is he appears as grayscale, and he touches turns to grayscale if it's in color. So I'm just having a blast with this project. It's really a passion of mine, and this is where people go to learn history. So Time Enforcers, where learning history is fun. So like I said, we're debuting a bunch of merch. We've got blip clips by Russell over at Game of Tunes. We got
those blip clips are fantastic.
Yeah. And then I'll be showing off the statue at the booth. So I'm not going to do it now because I want to be a surprise. So if you come to the booth, you can see a really cool statue made by Shadow Rabbit. Awesome. Turned out it's a statue of our samurai character from episode 1, Kaizen, the guy on the left there. So it's totally awesome. And then we also have pet bandanas, new product that's being produced that's available for purchase. So if you want to deck out your dog or cat, you can make them a Time Enforcer agent right at the split of a second. So pretty excited about that. And a whole bunch of other stuff. We got a new t-shirt design we did. It's in black and features Chronolith. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's just a lot of fun. I love this event. Love meeting the people that attend it. And like Blake said, there's a lot of creative individuals that just goes without saying. So it's really a great time for everyone to go and have really a lot of fun. So love it.
Love it. Folks, go check it out. Time Enforcers. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun for $2.
We love the fans and appreciate the fans. Without fans, there's nothing.
Yep.
You're not kidding. I gotta say, I've been having fun writing on Vocal, and it's funny that our friend Jerry was talking about this, Write What You Know, and I did this whole article on how I see what Write What You Know is, because we're writers. We do research. We write what we know. We don't know about it. We do the research, and then we write it. I agree with you, Jerry. I feel like sometimes when you hear write what you know, it feels like you're being stopped from doing something. But I feel like when they're saying write what you know, it means that you need to know what you're writing. So that means if you need to do the research for it, then go do the research for it. It's better to do the research for it than try to write it without knowing what the hell you're talking about. And if you guys want to go check that out, go check it out on Vocal. I have a bunch of little things there because, of course, I'm always continuing the writer's journey, and I'm bringing you along with me. So I'll put that into the comment section as well. Go check it out.
Because they're going to see the hat you're wearing, Ralph. I love it.
that hat there is time enforcing.
Looks familiar. I love it. Thanks, man.
Yeah, folks, you guys got there's a lot of pictures of me, which I don't usually do there at the Vocal, because I was like, what am I going to put with these things? And it's just me being silly. So, but go check it out. It's a lot of good things on writing. It's also some of my writing and stories if you want to go see what Ralph does. Of course, I wanted to showcase our friend here who is doing really well, Monkey with a Katana. It is at 18,258, 166 backers, 26 days to go. He's doing really well, but it's a great book. Go check it out. And I think, is that the last of it? I think that's everything. Oh, no. Of course. I can't leave this without doing a shameless plug.
Oh, my gosh.
I love this. This is
this a real thing? It's actually, I thought that was a joke at first.
No.
I thought it was like,
I love it. I've been having so much fun with this. And Jorge Medina's like, Ralph, I'm like, hey, you put it out there. It's the shameless plug. It's coming soon. So I'm going to keep doing shameless plugs until this thing comes out and probably after it. Jorge Medina's new book is the shameless plug. Go check this thing out. It is going to be fantastic. And I am going to have so much fun just doing shameless plugs.
That is brilliant. I gotta say. I mean, like you've sold half the people right there that see this. Is like, yes, it's brilliant.
It helps that the plug is cute. I'm also adding the links to both of these Kickstarters in the comment section, so you can go check it out, folks. Support indie creators. These guys work really hard, and they're not really making any money. They're just making money to make more books.
Yes, exactly. Buy the book, and then we can write more.
Exactly.
And make more.
And as Jerry was saying earlier, nobody's making any money. Everybody's just trying to make the next book.
Yeah, but somehow when you said it, it sounded like none of us are doing a good job. I don't know why that
is. We're all doing a good job.
Like when I said it earlier, I meant like we're all doing it for the love of it, and then you were like, "Look, none of these guys are making any money." Like, it had a different tone.
I'm telling them the truth so they can support you guys.
You have to understand, Ralph says it in every single episode.
Exactly.
So it's like his catchphrase. So this is not going to come out.
And of course, folks, we are going to be at Garden State Comic Fest this weekend, so go check it out. Great convention. This is always a lot of fun. A lot of cosplayers, a lot of great comic book stuff, a lot of great stuff. Video games. This thing has it all. It's an amazing convention. You guys should go check it out. And if you see me, say hi, and we'll put you into the trailer.
Yes, we don't bite much.
Shh.
Come on over and say hi. We don't bite much.
I get free candy at my booth.
Yes.
We'll be at the booth. We'll be there. Say hi. Talk to us.
I got to stay at my table because I usually like to go over and say hello to people that and meet new people. So I got to.
Yeah, Blake. We barely ever find Blake at his table.
Yeah, I got to stop doing that because I get antsy. I guess I like to just talk to people. So I got to stop doing that.
Jerry, are you going to be at a convention soon?
I don't have any plans for one yet. No, I have. The day job is kicking my ass lately.
Okay,
so I have not.
I was about to say, I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute. I think next year I'm gonna start hitting them again, but it's been a while.
Where are you based? Where are you based out of?
I'm in New York. I'm in Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn. That's right. You said.
He's a New York boy. Brooklyn. Come on. We were talking about it.
I know. We're just talking about it. I'm sorry. Brain fart. I apologize. My head's spinning a lot of things.
Folks, as always, it's been a blast here at the show. Go check out all these beautiful people. All those links are in the comment section. Go say hi. Go support. Indie creators is an amazing thing to be, and they always are doing beautiful new things and creating amazing stories. With that, I will do what we always do on this show, which is completely different than my other show, because I do this.